the business size is more than $2.5 billion, which is about 25,000 crore. Our core values of Enrich, which is one of them, is respect. See, one is being entrepreneur, right? The other thing is having the entrepreneurial spirit. All my life, I have believed and lived with the entrepreneurial spirit. To be honest, Enrich didn't do well, so we failed. Marta kya nahi karta. So the boss, let's do, like, fight to finish. So making mistake is natural. Realizing mistake is personal. But working on the mistake and going forward is something life progress.
When did you make your first million?
You're asking very personal questions now.
As long as you are passionate, as long as you are hardworking, as long as you are quick to learn, your growth can be exponential. Whatever we do, just keep walking. I like that tagline of Johnny Walker. Keep walking.
Keep walking.
Thank you, Vikram, for joining us, for giving us your valuable time. Really appreciate you were ready to do this podcast and have a good discussion with us. So
my pleasure, and looking forward for good interaction.
Great. So before starting, I would just like to ask you, how are you? How's life going? How's things your end?
Life is good, great, positive, upbeat. We are growing, so everything is moving in right direction.
Great.
Fantastic.
So let me just begin with starting with when you started out with Enrich. You started your first store in Mulund, if I'm not wrong,
Yes,
in 1997
yes.
with an investment of 6 lakh rupees.
10
lakhs rupees at that particular time. So what was in your mind at that time when you were taking this leap of faith? Okay, and did you ever envision Enrich what it is today?
Not at all. The entire purpose of doing that salon business was to just help a couple of friends who wanted to do this business, and our role was moved to me and my partner and long-time friend Rohit.
Okay.
Both of us were entering into their business just as an angel investor, and supporting them to get that thing started.
Understood. So how did you come up with this name Enrich? What was the logic behind it?
The entire project took about 80 to 90 days to set up an infrastructure. We would have spent out of 90 days, 85 days on the name itself.
Wow.
And one thing, collectively, we were clear that that time the trend was more of getting the name, either connecting it to the service, like people will use the name head to toe or some nail or some hair. Some brands were using a flower's name like rose, lotus, orchid, wherein we were very clear we wanted one name, and we wanted a name which is universal when we pronounce it or we say this, but it has to have a deep meaning of our business. So ultimately, all the debates, conversation, fight, we agreed on Enrich.
Okay, great. Also, when you started off with Enrich, you also had a good corporate run as well. You worked in corporate for around 10 plus years or so. So when you had a transition from your corporate stint to starting out your own ventures, after this transition, what were the key lessons that you have learned and you have implemented in your business?
Okay. So mine is a story where I started my professional journey. I'm a MBA pass out, 95-97 batch from Sumaya. So for me, my professional journey as a job and this business started in 97. From then till 2011, I was sailing in two boats. So even though I was a founder of this organization or part of the founding team, I must say, I was still doing a full-time job, and a couple of my other friends and promoters were also busy into their own businesses. What I really learned during this two things is that when you work for an organization like Accenture, you understand systems and processes. You understand importance of financial modeling.
Correct.
You understand importance of business model. Some professionalism is there. But what I really learned in Enrich is all about the people care, because while Enrich was full of number crunching, you're in the professional world, you're dealing with white collar people around who are qualified, who are doing great. Here you are talking and you are meeting people who are emotional.
users, yeah, correct.
They are creative, but they are quite sensitive. So
Correct.
somewhere here I learned the business and the modeling and the systems, but here I learned how to lead the people care, how to understand people's point of view, how to take care of them. And I think both then helped me in my both the professions.
And that's then that's how you become an
Yes.
accidental entrepreneur, which
Yes,
you
yes, yes.
I have read it. I have read a lot about you as well. Also, there's a particular philosophy which as a brand or as a company you follow is me to we philosophy. Correct. So
In fact, we ran a campaign of Me to We during COVID times.
great. Great.
Exactly
So
the same.
how
Me
did
to
that campaign roll out? How did it roll?
COVID times, as we know, and especially we're in touch business, right?
Correct.
These were one of those business were very risk on the COVID side, and in terms of the risk everywhere, right?
Right.
So we thought it is important that when I want to make myself safe, I need to also think about others. So it's not just my thinking. We need to create a bubble. We need to create a community. We need to create that thought process where if I think safe for myself, then each of us with the same thinking can become group, and we all can think for each other.
Perfect.
So we ran a very successful campaign. Maybe I can share some bits of
That
it.
was during COVID pandemic.
times, yeah.
Okay.
That's
Great.
So you sound to be somebody who's very passionate, and now that you spoke about it, we could still figure out that you have a lot of emotions inside you, right from 1997 till 2024. Is there a way to always keep this consistency and to be passionate about what you do with regards to the business, with regards to the people around you, and how does it exactly work for you?
See, if you talk about our business, this is business which doesn't require innovation, or you're creating something and you'll try to gain out of it for years, right? This is something where you need to do those 200 little things every day in right manner, do it consistently, do it every time, make people smile, make people feel good, look good, right? So the biggest motivation is that when we do any such things with the positivity, that actually transform that positive energy to the customer also.
Fantastic.
And when the customer is responding the same energy, they are feeling good about how they look, how they feel. That's how it adds value to everyone, right?
Right.
We all know not everyone is born beautiful or handsome, right? But
We can
our
relate.
services, beauty services, if you do it right, it can add to the confidence, it can add to the self-esteem.
Absolutely.
And that's something really kind of keeps me going, that how we can make people smile, how we can make people feel good, how we can make people feel happy.
That's pretty, very nice to hear that, it's not just you thinking from your point of view, but also from the point of view of people. Now, you just mentioned about, there are 200 things that you have to do on a daily basis. If you would like to share some things, which are a part of your routine, or some things that you do on a daily basis, which has helped you today and which may possibly help a lot more people.
Okay, so last few years, I'm more part of the back end team. But I remember early days when I think I'm on the floor.
Frontline.
Front ending. So I think 2 or 3 things we did right then. One was that entire loyalty program in beauty industry is currently done. Primarily or predominantly driven by thought process from Enrich, right? Bringing the pricing, transparency in the pricing,
card,
introducing the rate card, Enrich was the first one. Making our people also look good and feel good and look professional was also part of it, and that included that all the services which our customers get, our team member also can and are entitled to get it at our place.
Wonderful.
Right? Making them feel confident is also important. And as the time goes on, we have worked a lot on the quality parameters, on the single dose, what we use currently for facials and manicure pedicure. Again, our brainchild was from Enrich. Disposable towel, disposable apron. Those things were part and parcel of our thing. So initially days, we focused more on the membership, the rate card, transparency with the customer, and fourth biggest thing, the learning of people.
Right.
We want, because we are into creative world, new innovations will keep happening, new trends will keep coming in. So how can you ensure that our people are passionate to learn, and when they learn something, they can experiment it, they can explore, they can actually give it to the customer, and something good can come out of it.
Great. So coming down to since the day you have started, like in 1997, and today it's 2004. So what kind of change have you seen or transformation have you seen in your customer base? So if you could just shed a light on
Sure,
that.
sure. And maybe I'll go a little further than that. We started this salon business in the era or where the mindset was business was very looked down upon.
Oh,
People
right.
will say, "Kuch nahi karega to ye kar lega," right? In fact, when I opened the first salon with my friends, I didn't even inform my parents or my family because they would have taken it in a not not so right spirit.
Yeah.
Not the right spirit, exactly.
In fact, from 97 to up to 2004, when we became a private limited company and we got a little structure, I would always represent myself as that, oh, I'm helping
a friend.
I'm not, because somehow that hesitation was there, right? But over a period of time, this business in customer mind has got a lot of importance because everyone wants to look good. Second, it has also gained a respect for the people who are performing the job.
Perfect.
So that's something, thing I feel really enriched about it. Today a hairdresser or a beauty therapist is looked with the respect.
Correct.
And this is one of those very rare professions where you really don't require formal education or any kind of regular track as far as your career is concerned. As long as you are passionate, as long as you are hardworking, as long as you are quick to learn, your growth can be exponential. I can give you n number of examples where people would have joined, an individual would have joined Enrich as a support staff or in a regular role, and over a period of time, one would have become hairdresser, and today some of them are even senior and reached to a senior technician level, or even working in our academy and teaching others. Right, so there is no set path for growth. You can grow exponentially as long as you are passionate about it.
Understood.
I think that's one of the best lines that you've said. There's no set path as long as you're passionate about
And
it.
I have n number of examples. Means so many people we feel, oh fine, this guy has grown so much in last 2 or 3 years time. Very rare. Anyone who's into skills job can grow so fast in their career.
No, absolutely. Now that you spoke about changing trends, so this is one thing that we always say, nothing is constant apart from change. So we've known I think as youngsters, as elders, people have a lot of changes in looks. Now, how does it work for Enrich, or you from the back end as a brain that is working on things when it comes to new trends? Do you want to be the first to try these things out, or how do you implement it with your staff, and how does that procedure work?
Okay, sorry, but before that, I think I missed your first question. Can I continue on that answer? Because you said was, what are you, how the people, customers would have changed. Yeah, so we'll take this question.
Sure.
Yeah, so as far as customer is concerned, when we started, we were focusing or kind of serving people with the age group of 25 to 35 and in terms of middle class, higher middle class segment. But as the years gone by, our client base has become older and older. So we currently serve even people who are into 45, 55, 60 age bracket. It has also at the same time become younger and younger.
Correct.
So now even in population, people who are into their teenage, they come for some of the basic services and then they feel great about it. So as far as age is concerned, it has expanded both ways. Second thing, customers have got more choices. So within every services, you have quite a few variants which can do. Earlier you would have understood only straightening. Now there is a smoothening and hair detox. So new trends keep coming in. Even in facial, you have regular cleanup, or you have express, then you have something to make it glow, something to related to the occasion.
Correct.
Color, there are so many techniques. So customer preference has also gone quite a bit. I remember our first rate card was 3/4 page. I had to put in some design to make it full. Today it is 26 page.
Wow.
So
Great. So
one can think. The only one thing which has remained constant is our customer split. So even today, As far as gender split is concerned, it is 70-30, 70 women and 30 men. And even spent has remained 75-25. Even though people say now that, even the men are more conscious about it and they are also spending. But I think women have more reasons and they spend much more than men.
Oh, absolutely. Without any offense, obviously. Yeah.
Then your next question, yeah.
Yeah. So this is what you answered about how you. So now, when it comes to the new trends, so I'm assuming it's always going to be the case wherein Enrich wants to be the first one. So how does it work with regards to training your employees or telling your team from the back end that this is a new trend, this is what we need to do? So how does that procedure actually work for you guys?
So see, from day one of our existence, and probably that has worked as a boon and that's a blessing that the founding team, except one of our friend who started this, Parul, everyone was non-technical. So we always look for that someone who can take this role. So we have, from day one, what we've done is we have partnered with great brands.
That's nice.
In our case, Kerastase, L'Oreal, and quite a few others in skin also. And we've always emphasized that the support should come to us from learning and development, from the education.
Correct.
And there's something, this strong partnership has really worked hard. So anything which gets introduced new, our team will get trained first, and then that's how the entire process will happen, and then we implement at the store. So for this particular point, our partnership with brand partners has really worked well, and our team also has got into it. Now we have an education director who kind of thinks about today. In fact, while I'm talking to you, there's one collection going on there. So these things, we in the beginning of the year, we create a calendar that every quarter what's going to be our focus.
Right.
Some of it related to creativity, some of it related to how to improvise the processes, some of it is related to innovation, and some of it is related to what is the trend going on.
Fantastic.
And then we follow that process and we try to mix and match and try to be always in time as far as trends are concerned and our offering to customers are concerned.
Great. That's fantastic.
So Vikram, I would like to understand more about this industry. So the grooming industry in India. So what do you think? How big is the grooming industry right now? Grooming or beauty and personal care industry?
Yes. Now, if I can give you honest answer, one cannot actually judge how much big this industry is. And why so? Because I feel almost 70 to 80% of our population, and today we are 1.4 billion population, somewhere are connected and are serious about how they want to feel, how they want to look, right? But it cut across. Some of them are doing something at home. Some of them are doing like DIY. I do myself. Some of them are visiting beauty parlors. Some of them are visiting salons, like places like us. And so there are various sectors which are servicing the business. But if I talk about organized sector, and I can use some data which our brand partners share with us, there are at least 100,000 salons which are into organized business, right? And then the overall the business size is more than $2.5 billion, which is about 25,000 crore.
Great.
20 to 25,000 crore.
Yeah, I mean, much more than somebody would imagine when they listen to the term grooming or personal healthcare. I mean,
and
beauty
again,
industry.
I'm just talking about the beauty services.
Beauty services.
You add up
the beauty and
because personal care also
space.
is part of the beauty.
Right.
When you add up products, shampoo, conditioner, makeup, fragrances, all these things are part of your beauty. When you add that up, it is huge. I really can't imagine or say what number that could be. It could
and
be
the
10
industry
billion
is growing as well. There are many brands as well
$25
coming up,
billion.
in different
and
different
more
spaces.
interestingly, we are still at the stage compared to some of the developed countries where our average use of product is about 2.1 per person, wherein developed countries like Korea, for that matter, right? An average person, average lady would use about 15 to 17 products on their face or body. In Japan, it is more than 20. right? In US, it is more maybe 7 or 8. So we are still kind of getting there.
Getting there.
Great. Now, coming down to, I guess you guys have, Enrich has around 100 stores, if I'm not
We are
wrong.
113 as I speak.
113,
Yeah.
113 stores over so many years. And so I wanted to understand, while scaling your business, okay, doing more than like 100 stores is not a cup of tea. And
And especially when you have company owned and operated. We don't
yeah,
have
company owned and
franchise.
operated. Yes, not franchise model. If
Yes.
I have read about that as well. So, what are the challenges that you have faced? Probably one of them wherein you might have to take a very tough decision that might probably have impacted your growth trajectory for Enrich. Is there any
No, obviously any business will go through the waves, right?
Right.
And if I can kind of what do you call look back this 25 years journey, we always feel that whatever we do isn't enough. There is so much potential even there as we go along. So one or two things which are important for this business is the supply pool, which is like how good your technicians, what are your service provider, how your, or we call them professional or technicians. So their availability is very important. So early years, I remember like we used to struggle for our second and third salon to get even 4 hairdressers and 2 beauty therapists, right?
Correct.
That is when we realized that we need to invest, and we need to invest heavily on the training side of
and
it,
academy? Yeah.
create the talent, right?
Very true.
So we worked on our own. We set up an academy. We worked with our brand partners and did that, right? Over a period of time, Enrich, especially I can talk about Enrich, while industry is still trying to fix it in terms of that, I want more number of people to work at my place. Enrich, we have established that credibility that there are quite a few people who want to be part of it. Right. Our focus is more over a period of time as now how we can make them more learn, how we can make them more kind of creativity, how we can make them upskill their talent, how we can upgrade them, and we can retain them. Right.
That is the most important part.
Critical business parameter is that attrition, and that can be 20, 30, 40, even 50, even 100% in some of the roles.
Right.
We've been able to successfully manage below 20%.
That's fantastic.
Great.
No,
that is one thing. Second thing, also in terms of it's a very capital intensive business,
Yes.
right? When you set up a salon, you invest anywhere from 5,000 to 6,000 rupees per square feet as a capex. You just kind of do the place and get the right set of infrastructure and equipment. And business will grow steadily.
Correct.
Unlike any product business or any restaurant where people will jump into it the moment you open it. Here we have to kind of build the business. So a break-even would happen anywhere from 12 months to even 13, 14, 15 months, right? So we need to build the business slowly. Now, during that time, the focus has to be that who is coming for the first time,
right.
How do I ensure that they're getting the right experience, they're happy with the pricing, they are satisfied with the service level, and they will live with the smile. Now, if we do this consistently for about a year or so, we straight away get to the growth mode. Amazing. So these are the phases we need to manage. So it's not just we need to invest only into the capital, but for the first year we also have to there will be cash outgo on terms of operating expenses like salaries and rent and few other things. So there is an investment for the operating loss also, right? And once you become a break even, then you can start growing it. A lot of us don't pay attention to this side of it. You suddenly grow, but then you find, where is the money to pay rent or salary?
You have to maintain the balance.
Yeah, and Enrich from day one, and I can proudly share this, that we've never defaulted. The salary happens always on day one, and even rent always on time, even for the but even taxes on time. So that planning really helps. We were having a phases where we would have suddenly grown, and then you say, okay, fine, no, we need to first kind of ensure that all our new outlets which we have opened are doing good. And maybe I want to share one example with you. Like when we opened our third salon in Ville Parle, initial 1.5 year we really struggled, but then we said, okay, fine, abhi there is saying, marta kya nahi karta. So we said, boss, let's do, like, fight to finish. So we actually were there, and I remember those days, when we were standing outside Alpha and giving invitation card to all the clients saying, boss, come to our
Come to our
place,
place.
enjoy the services, absolutely free, there is no condition applied,
Yeah.
and then you can decide to come next time, and that one really worked.
So these are some of the branding and marketing strategies that
Correct.
you have
And
implemented.
that same thing, inviting customer for getting the first service complimentary. Now the format has changed from giving the physical invitation card. Now it has become
Digital.
digital and coupon and the code. But the spirit and the intent still remains the same.
That's amazing. I think that we were once thinking of this, now that you spoke about the digital aspect, I think UPI and all these things may have really helped your business a little more, because as you said, now the services are like 26 pages. So if we visit a salon, and we know, let's say we have money with us with regards to UPI, do you think it has helped you in a very good way, where people can choose more services thinking that, the payment options are much easier than before?
Not really, because, the payment split has changed, the mode has changed. So out of 100 rupees we were getting earlier, we were getting about 60, 65 in credit card, because our average ticket value is about 2,000 rupees. So
Right.
people swipe the card and we're getting about 35 to 40% in cash. Now that has changed, where cash component has gone down. The salary, the check
digital
component has gone up to about 75 to 80, 85,
Okay.
and cash has come down to 20, 25. So in terms of control, yeah, it is better, but not that it has helped increasing the ticket
Exactly,
size, or our customer is still indifferent to it. But yeah, convenience is there. It means you don't need to kind of wait for the change. You just can scan it and give it.
No, I think it also helps, if we are customers and we feel, okay, there's this service as well. Like what used to happen in previous times was, let's say a customer comes in with 500 rupees and he or she knows that they have to, whatever they get is inside this
so we had a
500.
limited cash in our wallets and we know कि
Now you
इतना
can-
मेरा limit है कि मैं इतना ही spend कर सकता हूँ. But in today's time, every time the professionals they all say आप ये भी करा लो, थोड़ा सा spa
Yeah,
करा
I
लो,
know.
थोड़ा
One
dandruff
thing I
treatment करा
always
लो.
feel is that we as a industry has to control is that not do oversell.
Correct.
Or not do the hard sell.
Yeah, not force yourself on the customers.
So one of our most essential training on the behavior side is that to tell our professional, tell our technicians that educate client, make them
Exactly.
aware, but don't try to kind of push them. Ours is a relationship business where I want you coming every month or two and coming for next 2 or 3 or 5 years, not just first time I am and chill dala and then next time you don't come in.
Yeah, and there's one funny question I want to ask. I think many people will relate to it, especially boys. How do you pronounce it? Is it salon or salon?
It's more of actually then it used to be salon, but now people are saying salon. So
Salon.
everything gets a little bit refined, right? So both are right way
Both
of
are right,
pronouncing
correct?
it, but
Okay.
it's just that it's a personal choice. Somebody will say salon, somebody will say. People say even saloon. So
Saloon,
if you go
yeah,
north,
yeah.
right? People
Yeah.
will talk more as a saloon. We say salon, and some people say salon.
Salon.
It's more of also people come from which catchment and which
Exactly.
geography.
Different
That has
accents
more
as
to
well.
do
Yeah.
with that.
Most of the boys say saloon. That is what I have, and I think
That
people
way,
will agree to
our
me.
female clients are more evolved. They know
Yeah.
how to pronounce it right. Because we are typically like gaya haircut karaya,
Baal cut
color
kiya.
karaya, and then we just push out,
Yeah.
right?
Abhi beard bana hai.
Yeah.
So what's your grooming thing, man? You have a really good, beard. You are really living up to Enrich's.
That was not intentional. Again, I would say I go back to that 2017-18, and like we were doing the annual review of our team, and somehow it was so we were growing. Like we had suddenly become from 50 salons to 86 salon. I'm talking about 2018 time frame. So for almost 2 weeks I didn't shave. I was just kind of growing the beard. It just happened. And then back home my son tells me, why don't you keep a French beard? So I did it. Then here the technician, the trainer liked it. And then I said, okay, fine, let's experiment. Let's grow a little more. Then COVID helped us, all of us. So
Right.
this beard look has evolved. And now it has become so that if I want to go clean shave or I want to go zero, then my kids have told me that my children, we'll disown you.
No, we're very glad that COVID helped you at least, because I remember cutting my own hair And then regretting it.
COVID times, I have got quite a few interesting memories. So one of the way to remain connected to the customer is that we ran an initiative called Call is Well.
Call as well.
Call is
Okay.
well. And the purpose was that obviously you can't come to my salon. I
Right,
can't come to my
correct.
salon and cut your hair. So we created an entire program where all our technicians, all our professionals, hairdressers, beauty therapists, they will call the customer and they will guide the customer on phone how to cut the hair
Right.
and how to kind of move
Oh,
the
nice.
thing. And then I myself got haircut done from my wife with the video consultation happening from one of my technician, right?
Wow.
And I think during that time, wave 1 especially, wave 2 things were still little
better,
okay. We would have done about 150,000 calls
Wow.
and talk to customers, and we have helped them some other way. In terms of giving them beauty tips, in terms of like how to hold the scissor right way or the clipper and
Correct.
or maybe thread when they want to do a threading or something like that.
Great. So so there's a trend going on right now. People want services at their home. So there are many startups coming up like Urban Company. And there's Yes
No,
Madam
they've
and
grown
all.
really big and good.
So in the past, you have also acquired Bellita,
Yes.
if I'm not wrong, and
Yes,
they are also
yes.
into
In
home
fact,
services.
That was also a first organized chain of home service
Right.
thing which we had acquired in 2017. Yes.
Great. So now, how is that aligning with Enrich's vision, and how is it doing right now?
So we failed
Okay.
into simple things. The concept was great, and not that it is not prevalent. It has been always there. For example,
Right.
if I talk about my grandfather, the barber would come with his
Baksa.
little baksa
Even the
at
parlor
place, and he will
aunties
do it,
used to
right?
come at home.
Or even the female,
Yeah,
they'll come
right.
and then they'll do the beauty services. So it's just that it got little organized,
Correct.
right? And today, if I can think and talk from the customer point of view, obviously for the basic services, they look for convenience, right? And as a customer, like in various ways, our behavior has changed, our preferences have changed. Even food, you want to order and eat it, or
Yeah.
even grocery, you want to just call it and somebody will deliver. So this is part of the same change behavior pattern of the customer. To be honest, Enrich didn't do well there.
Okay.
So we acquired a brand, but two things we did wrong. So one was that we thought we can create a pool of these technicians who are primarily doing service at home, but we can place them at salon, and they in their spare time they can also work at salons. We thought their utilization would
Okay.
be better.
Yeah.
But then very soon we realize that this is a different ball game. The moment you expose any technician to the salon, they always feel this is a more protected environment, this is a better place to work because they are just required to focus on giving the right service and the great experience to the customer. The entire administrative part of it, entire sale part of it, all the effort part of it is being taken care by everyone.
Correct.
Think about a beauty therapist who has to carry a bag of few material and then going, ring the bell, wait, then customer will say, okay, fine, 2 minute baith jao, set up the things, do the services, then wind up, clean it, collect the payment, and then do it, then report it, right? So they are doing much more intense role, right?
Exactly.
And I must say it's a much difficult role to do it.
Very
right?
true.
But when you expose people, then people know. But having said that, all the advanced services, all the services which requires a little bit of extra effort, like example, one wants to do a color, right? You have to select from 250 different variants. Now that thing cannot be replicated at home.
Correct.
Or some of the services which requires equipments, right? How do you wash your hair, or how do you
The steam part or
steam
something,
or dry things. So advanced services still happen in salon. And of our overall, having said that, our overall business, basic services contribute only 25% of it.
Okay.
So 3/4 is happening from the 70% of the business. Large part of the business coming from the advanced services. So first of all, we expose them to the salon, which was wrong, or maybe not right for the business.
Correct.
Second thing, it was entirely tech-driven business. So maybe we didn't do a right investment at that point of time to invest onto the tech platform, because it's a home thing. You would just send, somebody will collect and then go there. So
Okay.
and we didn't do this job good, so we had to.
So you all have tested the waters
Optimized.
in that area. So now you all are having any plans? Ki let's we have
No, even
learned some
today,
lessons.
example, before I talk about today, like COVID times, our same set of technicians were when things were a little restricted, we were going home, we were delivering products at home, and we were still able to maintain about 25 to 30% of revenue by doing so.
Right.
But once things started settling, our preference or our focus always remained for the salon business and not home business. We certainly feel it's a different expertise and we are not fit for it. So today we still serve customer at home, but that is more of by choice and preference and request of the customer for their own convenience, not by the price.
Great.
And we feel in our format it is not scalable.
Understood.
Absolutely.
So, being an entrepreneur, it is compulsory that you will fail some or the other.
Certainly.
Certainly you will fail in your journey. So,
Time and again.
The graph is just like up and down up and down. So, what are the things that you have learned and probably you have implemented in your business or in your personal life as well, the lessons that you have learned from your failures?
Yeah, one or two things I would like to share. One is that anything which is related to people, example, because our business is predominantly driven by who's my last mile execution is done by some human body. He's a beauty therapist or a hairstylist or a pedicurist, right? So anything which is impacting them, we need to be very thoughtful about it. We need to always think about what can be the positive side of it, what can be the side effects of it, right? So that's something we are very I've learned that it is important. Second thing, their constant learning, right? Learning of people. One cannot feel, oh, I'm arrived now, I know everything, because change, the trends are changing, the techniques are changing, the way of thinking is changing, customer behavior is changing. So if you don't upgrade yourself, that becomes a challenge. That's the reason in this office also, like the large portion of this office is actually given to academy side of it, right?
Right.
So people have to learn every day. In fact, each of the Enrich technicians, they spend at least 12 days, 12 to 14 days every year on the learning agenda.
Wow.
That too, formal learning. Day to day, we all learn. There are quite a few things available on the on
Internet,
the podcast and on the phone. But the real hard learning also is equally important. So that is second thing. Third thing, which is also reflecting our core values of Enrich, which is one of them is respect, right? It is important that be it a customer, be it a technician, or be it our vendor, they have to be dealt with respect, right?
Absolutely.
There can be situations which are right versus wrong, maybe right versus right, or even wrong versus wrong. But it can be anything. But as long as you're dealing with situation in respect, and that is very important. So at least you focus on the problem and not the individual or the person.
Great.
That's really.
There's some of the learning which I have got it, and I personally feel what I was during my Accenture days and those like cutthroat. You're talking to qualified people.
Yeah.
You tell them today done, tomorrow morning it's done. Actually, from there to here, if people are not motivated, if they are not positive, it reflects in the work, right? So you need to handle them with the care.
Extra care. So is there something like, if you go back in time, you would like to tell your younger self, or that you think, I wish I knew this when I was younger, like when you started maybe somewhere in 97 or 98?
Maybe the speed of taking decisions, right? We always, initially at least 10, 12 years, we grew very organically, right? First salon was 97. Till 2011, because before I became full-time here, we were only 12 salons.
Wow,
right?
so that's like around.
So maybe I should have taken that decision a little earlier. So speed of thinking and acting, maybe taking little risk. I think it's more to do with the risk side of it, right? I could have or I should have done it a little earlier.
No.
Otherwise, learning keeps happening. What I did last year was right, may not be today. Even today, we are doing something, may change in the future. Those
absolutely.
tactical things, those day-to-day things, those transition things keep changing based on the situations around.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So, I think so. You all had in the past. You all have raised some funds as well. You all had 2 funding rounds, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Could you give us an understanding about how did you land up to those guys, or did they find you? You found them. How did that happen?
No. So yeah, when we were so in fact, very interestingly, even when we were 2 salons, we had an offer from an individual whose friend was having another 2 salons, and said, okay, why don't we do a partnership and we can become 4 salons. So this was only when we were 2 salons, like just Mulund and Chembur. We respectfully denied it. We said, हम लोग all 3 जन हैं तो अभी और कितने जन को इसमें घुसाएंगे. Then even when we were 6 salons, some guy from US came in and gave us a check that no, I want to become partner. Then you decide how much you want to give it to me. We thought we are not big enough, good enough. At that time, we also thought that if somebody has got so much confidence on our business, then why should we hold back? Let's start growing. Then 2008-10, when we were like almost 13-14 years in the business, one small private equity fund approached us like, we'll take the stake in you and then why don't you grow? But we thought we were still growing. So at times, we always say that taking opportunity is the right thing. You need to time it well. But at times, just kind of holding on opportunity or let it pass. Also, in our case, at least, it has proved to be a right decision. Finally, in 2011, we got a first round of funding. And it happened so that one of the investment banker visiting our Matunga salon, and he was so happy. The things are moving so fast. Like you could clearly see the change that this place is so hygienic. People are transparent. Pricing is right. There's a loyalty program. That means they understand the business relationship, the customer care. So they were the one who actually pitched us.
This was an angel round or
no, 2010. So it was equity round only.
Equity round.
So we got first round of investment from of private equity fund from GM Financials.
Okay, and how much was it?
That was about 30 crore.
30 crore. Oh, great. That time, those days.
Yeah, so we took that funding. In fact, I had a situation where like I'm still working with Accenture and we are not able to grow. So then I decided
quit
to
in 2011.
move. 2011 I moved full time here, and then within 2 years we became 12 to 50 outlets.
Then West
again,
Bridge.
there was a phase where from 2015 to 2017 we wanted next level of funding, but things, not everything can be timed so right. But yeah, there were struggle in raising the fund. Even though our existing business was doing really good, we could expand little carefully. We actually made our store more bigger and renovated some of our existing stores and increased the revenue rather than setting up the new outlets. Then 2018 finally we got a second round of funding, which was
from West Bridge
Capital. Yeah. So there was primary, secondary for GM, and like as I said, we were 3 promoters, 3 founders: me, my friend from school days, Rohit, and my brother-in-law, who was also an angel investor then in the second and third salon. So he decided to take the exit in 2018. So now me and Rohit and West Bridge continue this business. Pre-COVID, we were having 86 salons. So after 2018, within 1.5 years, we could add another 35 outlets. There was not a single salon we would have shut. That was the rich history of Enrich. Because if we've strong that feeling, that conviction that if we could make Ville Parle run and make successful, then why to shut any salon? So
exactly.
Till COVID, yes, COVID got us a new set of learning where there were 2 or 3 places where the rent and the revenue didn't make sense. Having difficulty to get any waiver even from a couple of owners. So we had to give up the place.
Amazing.
That's amazing. I think we've covered some great points with you today.
So learning for COVID was like whatever you could. Yeah, we always felt that equity funding ekdam tight hona chahiye. You should always leverage on things. But then COVID also showed us you should have some safety. You should have some comfort.
So let's imagine, Vikram, today you are an 18-year-old. Okay, you have set up 4 to 5 Enrich Salon and you're looking for an investment, and let's say me and Selwyn are the investors. So how would you pitch Enrich Salon to us?
First of all, I would make it in a manner where you are my customer. I'll give you more experiences and I'll try to drive my right things about how this business is becoming bigger through my interaction and through my visits or your experience you get at my salon. That is one thing. Second thing, obviously every business has got so many players, but how one player is different from other. So I'll try to pitch in those 2, 3, 4 things which I would have done it differently. And exactly that's what we did in the beginning of it, right? So we had a membership program, we had rate card, we had dress code, we had focus on learning, we had focus on relationship, right? So I'm sure those things I would highlight to you. And obviously it has to make sense. Business sense,
Business
right?
sense,
So
yeah.
I always feel that any business plan you make it boring in the sense do the projection in a manner which are predictable, which are achievable.
Right.
Don't try to be too much kind of glary about it or like rose. Don't try to show the rosy picture. At the same time, don't be so pessimistic also.
Correct.
So anything which we plan and we achieve, the results and the outcome of it has to be boring. Means you said this and it happened.
Right.
Then you get the best outcome out of it.
Got it.
Fair enough.
You
If this situation
overcommit
was true-
yourself and then you don't deliver is a problem. You remain little conscious and little over protected about it, and you say, no, I'll achieve what I want. Then you'll get sacrifice on your valuation or your
Exactly.
wealth or the worth you are, right?
And
so
the
have a
valuation bubble and all.
balance.
Yeah.
And one more thing, that transparency. Right? I would always ensure that there's enough transparency between you as an investor and me as an individual. That is one of the most important thing in our business or any business for that matter.
Correct.
Very true.
So investors are investing to get money out of it, right? And if you are able to do something right, directionally you need to be right, right? All these business waves will keep happening. But as
Indeed.
long as you are getting in the right direction, there is a headwind. No, there is no headwind. Tailwind, then you get
Yeah.
there.
Great. So also one more thing I would like to understand, why most all of your salons are self-operated, right? Like
Yeah,
you
own
only
and
operate. Why
operated, yeah.
didn't you go to the franchise model? Why take the hassle of operating each and every salon? Don't you think it is capital intensive, power management, and many other
No,
topics?
it is. And see, there is no. It's like our choice is to do something on our own, so that you can assure the quality of execution, you can assure the consistency, you can assure and manage difficult situation and things in a controlled manner
Right.
or much better manner. But there are enough examples. If I can say not in India, but at least in the developed countries, especially Europe and US, where the salon business in franchising doing really well. So maybe we are still evolving, right? Every 2 years we kind of review and see whether we can do something out of it. But we still feel India is not ready for our kind of business. Even though a lot of franchise business in India, like which are productized, you have Subway and you have McDonald's, and those have done really well. But our business is still kind of learning through, and it's just a matter of choice that we prefer doing something of our own than others.
Great.
That's great.
Also, I have noticed that you guys don't have your own private label brand, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So why is it you all not, venturing out into that route as well? Because if you have a good supply chain now, since you're having 113 stores and I guess 1.5 million of footfall per year.
Yeah.
So that is a good market for you. So why don't you start out your own professional range brand or,
Purely for one reason, that our expertise and our focus is on service side, right? If you have great brand partners who are already established, customer is also aware of them. So I would say was let them play on their strength and let me also play on my strength and collaborate in a manner where we get our bit of it, they get their.
Understood.
Purely for that reason, that you want to remain focused only on our service and our experience.
Great.
That's
great.
really
Having said
incredible.
that, 25% of my revenue, not 32% of my revenue is coming from product. So we do services, but we also do a good amount of retail sale.
Yeah, you have
as an
started
after
out with the
services.
retail scene,
Yes,
I
yes.
guess, recently or
Yeah,
something.
there are about 15 outlets where we offer wide range of products, which are including makeup, fragrances, accessories, in addition to hair and skin, which is available at all our outlets. So I'm talking about the regular format of our salon.
Okay.
Even there, we do almost 30% revenue coming from the product business. So we do product sale.
Nice.
But
But it's
that
not
is
your products exactly.
strongly
Yeah.
Partner
driven
brands.
by partner and then as a aftercare. Right?
True.
Yeah.
Got it. Also, there are a lot of myths, in the beauty and personal care space. Can you burst any one myth जिसका गलत फहमी है लोगों को कुछ चीज़ों से?
So one thing, if I can think from a common man or a customer point of view, is that this business makes a lot of money because आप क्या करते हो, बाल ही काटते हो ना. So people relate to the direct cost, but this is also a business where there is a heavy fixed cost,
Right.
And that is in terms of infrastructure, capex, your people cost, right? So that one thing one has to be careful. So ऐसा नहीं कि वो भी business में बहुत पैसा है. It's a tough business and your fixed costs are committed.
Very
So
true.
unless you reach to that critical mass, you'll always make losses. And that is the reason quite a few salons, while open, the quite of them also shut. Right?
Okay.
Second is about not everyone can carry everything so well. So a lot of people say, no, मैं salon गया मैं एकदम perfect करके आऊँगा, या like my skin will happen this change, or my hair will change. There are certain natural things which are part of it. So customer who are come with over expectations, right? And if you don't educate them, if you don't make them aware, right, then it can create that gap
Correct.
in terms of expectation versus what you
Reality.
deliver or reality.
Great. So, like few hours back or something, only me and Selwyn, we were talking about. We read somewhere that you read 7 newspapers, it seems, in different languages. I've
Used to
heard
be.
that.
Now everything is on phone. Now
everything is
I
but you
surf
still,
through.
but you still, read it in 7 different languages or something.
Now that has changed to a podcast, and that has changed the news and instant news. Right now,
Yeah.
we all have left. Yeah, at one point of time, I used to morning half an hour is my ritual. But now, in fact, today it has changed in last 2-3 years, where it's more of through the phone and not. I still
Go through
open
the
up
news.
the
Yeah.
newspaper. Yeah, but we know that it's like
Correct. It's now
I knew,
digital.
I
so
knew
it's
it
good.
yesterday kind of thing.
No, that's
It has
nice.
changed so fast, right?
No, it has.
Completely
Yeah, everything is
transformed,
digital right now.
And
कुछ भी करो.
everything is so fast.
Yeah, so fast.
Today's news is just मेरे को लगता है अभी तो people will
Yeah.
predict that कि आज
Yeah.
कल ये होने वाला है.
Very true.
Okay. Yeah, one question. Like, when did you make your first million, and how did you feel about it?
You're asking very personal questions now.
To be
Why
honest,
not? Like-
I made my first million just before I got out of Accenture and I was full time into Enrich, right? So
Okay.
that could be 2010.
So that's when you know कि अभी तो Enrich
That was
ही
the right
करना है.
motivation.
I would have become,
That
yeah,
was the
yeah,
right motivation.
Superb.
Great. Also, since
But I personally feel I would always want to be happy than anything else. Being rich or anything else is secondary. I think
yeah,
being
so
happy
so
and
basically the
being grateful about
the
it is
thi-
more important.
Yeah, for success, everyone's point of view is different, and so how success has evolved for you over the years in this 27 years of journey of Enrich. How success have evolved?
To be honest, I have seen more greens and blues in my life, and I personally feel that I was always blessed with great family, great siblings, friends, school friends, college friends. In fact, 6 of them we worked together in Enrich from our college days, friends, right? Great relatives. More importantly, all my bosses, starting from my kind of apprenticeship you do as a management trainee to getting the Vadia group and to the first level, and then Accenture was always blessed with a great boss. So somehow wo luck hai na has remained strong on for me. And when you're blessed, things will always, so challenge will keep happening, but it's just that with your positivity and support from others, you always see more rights than wrongs.
No, that's amazing. I think it's not just luck, it's your hard work and your
Yeah,
passion
yeah.
towards it, which
Both have
makes
to blend.
luck
I mean,
your way.
I'm blessed, and I'm putting every possible of hard work and efforts.
Absolutely.
Right? Worked 17-18 hours a day, even in the COVID time, even
Yeah.
more.
So-
Right? But
Absolutely.
never felt tired.
So coming
to be
down to that
honest.
17-18 hours a day. So in today's generation, in the digital or social media era, especially when we scroll any reels or YouTube or Facebook for that matter, we always see this particular reel कि कब तक आप 9 to 5 जॉब करोगे. start off with your own venture, get into the entrepreneur journey. आप खुद के मर्जी के मालिक हो. Whenever you want to work, you can work. But actually, the truth is something else. It's not, when you are in entrepreneurship journey, it's not 9 to 5. It's more of a 18 hours of a work in a day. So if you could just give us an understanding, like what is entrepreneurship life, and
my belief is that see, one is being entrepreneur, right? The other thing is having the entrepreneurial spirit. All my life I have believed and lived with the entrepreneurial spirit. Even Accenture days, used to work hard, we used to party harder, but then there was sense of accomplishment and achievement, because what you used to do, you put in effort. So as long as you have the spirit alive, it doesn't matter, it is your end of the day, it can be any job, right? But when you do with your whole heart and you put your 100%, outcome at least 9.9 times will be right only, and with that you always grow, right? So
Very true.
not necessary that you hard work only when you you're something of your own,
Right.
That ownership spirit you can carry anywhere.
so when you are running a business, so is there a work-life balance, or there's work-life integration or something?
See, my definition of work-life balance is not connected or related to the number of hours and this and morning time and evening time. It is more of how can I get great things between something, right? And it could be great thing like in the morning I'm coming and I'm just sharing one example is that I come by road, right? But evening it is
So jam-packed.
I say sorry to my driver, I'll take metro, I'll get down, my wife comes to pick me, and
Okay.
every day, right? That's a joy, she's taking effort to bring me. I'm so thankful to her, right? But at least 13 minutes I'm reaching home, otherwise it would have taken 1
1 hour.
1 hour or something.
right? At times my little dog will be there, my daughter will accompany. Evening time we go out. So I think I always feel that the balance is more of how how blessed you are with the family and alignment of expectation with each other.
Correct.
So having that quality thing, life or time you spend with your loved ones is more important than number of hours you are doing that.
Very,
Having
very
said
right.
that, I also need to be a little serious about my health and little
Yeah.
fitness. I've gained some 5-6 kgs in the last few months. So that side, I say that you need to plan, do little work hard, but otherwise work-life balance is all mental.
So what do you do for your fitness? Like
As of now, just
Nothing.
think. I'm never so casual about my health ever before. So this is one thing I have to work upon myself.
Okay.
I've gone a little easy.
Great.
In last
So
year or so.
let's say if a viewer is watching this right now and he or she wants to start up a business in the salon industry, and has a vision of building salon chains just like Enrich. What is the one piece of advice, or any advice for that matter, you would give to him or her before starting out with this journey?
Yeah. Okay. So one thing I can think about is and it is irrespective of whether one wants to do salon business or anything, is we all are bound to take some decisions, and in that process, right, we are going to make some mistakes, right? So one is that you do a mistake. It's very natural, right? Nobody can be right 10 out of 10, or if you're lucky 6, 7 out of 10, or you're little hard luck is there, then maybe 4 or 5 out of 10. What is important is to realize this mistake, right? That okay, fine, I did something. Obviously, we do with the right intent, but at times you fail. So when you have the realization of that failure or the mistake, that is important. And once you realize, then the third part of it is that how you correct it, how you take some additional efforts to ensure that how can I correct it and get back on the track. So making mistake is natural, realizing mistake is personal, but working on the mistake and going forward is something life progress. So this is what I would
Very
believe so.
great thought.
And final thing, like whatever we do, just keep walking. I like that tagline of Johnny Walker: keep walking.
Keep walking.
So anything, be it great, not so great, hard, difficult, really tough, but if you keep walking, if you keep just kind of fighting it, nothing is permanent.
Great.
Very amazing.
So that's my life. Yeah.
Okay. So before concluding, I would like you to give a message to people who are aspiring to be one in a million in their own journey. So what is one thing or any message that you would like to give it to them?
One thing I strongly feel, we are in the era where we all, as a youngsters, as a individual, maybe community, or maybe nation, or even you talk about overall universe, this is the time where if you put your best, there are plenty of opportunities, and there are plenty of kind of things waiting for you, right? So there can be, you can be one in a million, you can be even, there can be hundreds in a million,
100
right? So the opportunities are more and more.
Correct.
You maybe you are at the right time. Things are so great, especially as India as a nation, or we talk about our economy overall. So anything you decide, just go for it. Nothing
Believe your
should
gut
stop
feeling.
you. Yes, just go for it. Don't worry. Take a chance.
That's really nice. Really
Nice.
inspiring.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Thanks a ton, Vikram, for
No, my pleasure of having such great conversations.
You have given a lot of pointers, and your experience, you talk your experience basically. And sincerely, you are truly one in a million for that matter, and you are inspiring.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving us your valuable time, and looking forward for more such great conversations in the future. Sure. Okay. Thank you.
When you lose some weight again after the fitness part starts.
We talk about
Once you start, once you start your fitness journey, we will have a conversation about the entire episode will be about fitness. Yeah, the change, transformation.
Only change is constant.
Absolutely. Great discussion.
Okay, so
for sure.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.